Hello, and welcome to week 6 of class and your first week of Google Slides. Slides is the equivalent to Microsoft PowerPoint in the Google world, and as you can already see, it's a pretty stripped down, streamlined version of PowerPoint. It doesn't have the 2 rows of options and the 2 rows of features, but it does have a lot of nice things that you can use, and as always with Google products, the major benefits are that it is fast and free and collaborative and portable. So I created this Google slide by going to New in my Drive and then finding the yellow Google Slides icon, and this opens up my new slide deck. Right now you can see that it's basically a blank slate. It starts off with a title page, so I have a basic layout of a title and a subtitle. But I need to create more slides and do stuff with them. So I'm going to pretend this week that my boss has asked me to create a slide deck of a basic overview of what my department does. That's going to be packaged in with other department slide decks. It's going to be all packaged together and sent off to our board of directors. So I want to make sure that the slides I use are visually appealing and kind of set us off from the rest of the other departments. So first thing I'm going to do is create a total of 4 slides. Right here you can see there's a plus button, which means new slide. You're going to create 1, 2, 3 more slides, and that gives you a total of 4. So the layout on these is already preset by Google. You'll see on this first page I've got a very large title bar and then a subtitle. Here I have a title and text, and then the other 2 are the same. The first thing I'm going to do is change the layout on slides 3 and 4. I like the title slide, I like this one, but I want a little variety. So on number 3, I'm going to right click and go to apply layout. And here you can see there are several choices to change the layouts of your slides. I'm going to click on title and 2 columns. So here I can put a little title or subtitle and add some information on both sides. On this one, I'm going to apply a different layout, and I think I'm going to do this data one, because here I could put some sort of percentage about, how much money we've saved or something like that, and then write a little caption below it. So that's a nice way to kind of close off strong. You could also create any number of layouts by clicking and dragging text boxes and moving things around. Sky's the limit with layouts. It's just that those are nice because they're pre-made, and you can still alter them once you place them in. So let's go back to our very first slide. We're going to start editing and putting in text. Now I'm going to be putting in all of my content first before I apply any kind of colors or themes or fonts. I just like having it all laid out so I can see how the themes affect the layout. So here we're going to pretend that we're the compliance department. And let's put our team members' names below that. So there we have a nice group of 5 people in our compliance department. Moving on, we're going to do a department overview. And this is where you're going to kind of talk a little bit about, where I talk a little bit about my department. Now, with Google Slides as well as PowerPoint, they do not operate as docs or documents. You don't want to write paragraphs of text. These are simple, quick little bites of text that someone could read while listening to a speaker or to a voiceover like this. So you don't want to put everything that you're talking about on your slides. You just want to put some highlights. So it's usually done by creating either a bulleted or a numbered list. So we're going to click bullet. That gives us a simple bulleted list. And now we're just going to kind of summarize the points that we might want to be talking about. So we'll say established in 2004 as a response, or let's say to combat fraud and waste. Then we could say that, set strategic goals for, or let's do set long range long-range strategic goals to decrease user fraud by 25% in 2015. And so on. So we could add, I'm just going to say third bullet point, fourth point. It is absolutely not necessary to fill up an entire text box, because I think that would be too much text, honestly. Try to stick with at most 5 points. If you're relaying technical information or giving directions, it's perfectly acceptable to have more directions, but just make sure it's still readable and you're not saying every single detail of what you want to talk about on your slides. So just like with docs, using tab or pressing the tab over buttons, the increase indent or the decrease indent, can allow you to create subpoints. You can go as far in as you need to. You can also go back out. And you can delete bullets by pressing backspace. Now you'll notice right here that the title is automatically bigger, and this is kind of set off by being slightly lighter in the font color. You can adjust that, which we will when we apply our stylings, but that's just something to note, that Google automatically creates the distinction between the title and the text. So let's go over to our to column. We're going to say upcoming goals for 2017. Here's where we could talk about our fraud goals. Here's where we could talk about our waste goals. You could potentially make another bulleted list. You could pull in a chart. Let's see if we can find one on my drive that would work. And here you see this gives me a generic chart. Now you could also create a chart from your drive. So let's see if we can find one of those real quick. So you would go to Sheets. It would give me a list of all of the spreadsheets I've ever made. And I could go in there and find a chart. So I've got my line chart and my pie chart from my movies thing, but since we're not doing movies, we'll skip that. Here, this is linked to a Sheets. So the nice thing about this is if you open this up in Slides and you get the generic pie chart, if you click on this little pop-out button, it creates a brand new chart. And so you could really quickly edit some data. So say like Q1, we're going to do a 3% reduction in fraud, whatever that means. Q2, we're going to do a 5%. In quarter 3, we're going to do a 5% as well. And in quarter 4, we're going to do 7%. So we're aiming for an overall 20% reduction in fraud, and we're going to show this on our chart. Now, this doesn't really tell us anything as far as what we plan to do, because it's assigning points to each of those, and we're not competing against it, we're trying to show progress. So let's change up our type of chart. So we are going to go down to change chart, right click and change chart. I'm going to create a line chart. Now you can see we've got a little bit of a better looking table because it's showing a little bit of progress over four quarters. We come back here, there's an update button that just populated, so we're going to click update. We're going to resize that to fit in our column. And we're going to go back one more time. We're going to change the title right here. If you double click on this, we're going to change the title to Fraud Reduction 2017. And now, update again. There is our chart. Over here with waste, we could do the same thing. We could put in another chart. We could make bulleted lists again, or you could do action steps with your numbered list. You could include a graphic. You could go here, you could insert an image or a video or any kind of shape or smart art that you want, which we'll go over next week in week 7. and you can basically do whatever you want in those two columns, but what it does is it still keeps them in a nice two-column layout, so nothing is off kilter or asymmetrical. And then last but not least, let's say that we overshot our goal and we actually reduced fraud or waste 52%. And so we write a little caption: due to high performance, we were able to exceed our goals by 52% in 2016. So that's kind of our yay. We're a really great department. You should definitely keep us around. So now we have 4 very different slides with 4 different points, and now we just need to make it look pretty. So in order to do that, we are going to apply a theme. Now when you apply a theme, it's going to be consistent across all 4 of your slides. So if you choose to go over here and click the orange slide, everything's going to be orange. So choose carefully, think about your presentation before you apply your theme, and think about what you're wanting to communicate. So we're going to go to this top slide, we're going to right click, we're going to change the theme. That brings up the sidebar, and you can see here there's a lot of different choices. You can also import a theme, which gives you pretty much any Google slide that you created. You can use themes from there, or you can upload one from the internet. So you can download a theme from the internet and to your computer and then upload it again. But I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm just going to choose this one. So here you see it not only changed the backgrounds, but it changed the font, and it styled it in a way to be compatible with the background. So I've got my title page, I've got my overview, and while I like this, I think I want to make this a little bit bigger. So right now it's 18-point font, and I want to make it 20 points. That looks better. I've got my upcoming goals, I've got my chart here, and my list here, and my final, we did a great job. So the last thing that I think I would like to do is I'd like to put our company branding up in the top corner here. And I'd like to put it in every single slide. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can go through each slide and manually insert a picture and move it around. Or we can do this by editing what's called the slide master. So we go to slide, and we're going to go to edit master. And now you can see that we have a bunch of slides that have populated. Now this hasn't added all the slides to your presentation. There's only 4 slides here. These are your 4 actual slides. This is showing that you've got this basic setup and layout for your slides, and that you've got a theme applied to all of your slides. So on this master, anything that you do that changes the master also changes all of your other layouts. So be careful that if you're adding something to your master, you definitely want it on all of your slides, because it's going to be hard to take them off one by one. So what I'm going to do is insert a picture to my master slide. So I'm going to click insert, and I'm going to go to image. Just like with docs, you see you have all of your choices for how to insert an image. I'm going to do a search, and I'm going to type in corporate logo and see what I come up with. So I've got a lot of choices. These are companies that have said, yes, it's okay to use our logos. You know, you can reuse them as long as you resize them or something. It's no big deal. So I'm okay with using something. I'm going to pick this fake logo here for a fake company. And so now this little image is here. I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to put it right here in the corner. And as you can see, this populates every single one of my slides. So now I'm done with that. I'm going to click out of the master by clicking on this X, and I still have that image in the corner of my slides. Now I like this, it looks pretty good, but I think I want to move it over. So as you can see, I'm trying to click and drag it, but because it's on my slide master, I can't. So if you want to edit something that you've put on your slide master, you have to go back into Edit Master, and then you can move stuff around a little bit. That looks a little better. So I'm going to click out of my master, and I'm done. So right now you can see that I have 4 slides. I've applied a theme to all the slides. I've just changed the font and the coloring. I've edited my slide master to include an element that applies to all slides, and I've changed the layout for 4 slides. I also inserted a picture by going to Insert an Image and doing a search. For your week 6 assignment, if you have questions about what you need to do or you need more information, please refer to your G Suite documentation or talk to your instructor or student advisor, and have a great week.